So if he said, she said,
the neighbor says he's gonna build a wall.
okay.
Complains about Freddy's dogs, how he gets barking.
Yeah.
That's it. 2 neighbors that can't get along.
But yeah, I think Kevin Mick said, hey.
Oh, you think I would.
Where we can, you know, you're saying he was disorderly and he's saying he's disorderly. The only thing I could really do is sign both of them.
Yeah, that's what he said. And that's what Freddie, he was upset. Yeah, I was gonna get.
Kevin's told that.
Good. Okay, good. All right, no problem. Yeah. Kelsey, you guys ready?
Now,
got 3 minutes.
this one on the sheriff's office.
Nope. Is my phone?
Yeah.
5:59. Oh. 5:59. Right. We have 3 minutes where you can reset it? No? Okay, all right. Yeah, it's easy. Okay.
Just mine's so
Oh,
when it's on battery.
yeah. You're right, we have 3 minutes.
It's gonna be rainy.
We have 2 minutes.
A couple of minutes. When I got home, I didn't get home till after 4:30. Do I need to get closer to Richard?
Like I said.
Are we going live?
You are like.
I can. Right on, first time in Springerville's history, we're gonna go live.
By us and not a council member, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Hey, the buildings they're building out there, those like little condo.
Those are gonna be townhouses.
Townhouses.
8 of them.
Okay,
8
nice.
townhouses. That's Jeremy Walker.
He's one of those out.
Yeah, right next to you guys.
Are we sure that's the
Yeah,
best?
before you guys.
Yes.
By the RV park. Yeah, yeah, and he bought that other building, that big building. That's why he bought, now he's building those.
The old,
Yeah, yeah, ours, yeah.
That was my day.
Time goes by so slow. When you watch it, it's like so slow. Come on, you can do it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and get this started. Kip, would you like to lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance.
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Kip. Okay, this is Springerville Town Council regular meeting. Today is Wednesday, August 17th, year 2022, at approximately 1800 hours. Roll call, Ms. Miller.
Councilor Henderson,
Present.
Vice Mayor McKenzie,
President.
Mayor Hanson,
Present.
Councilor Davis,
Present.
Councilor Scott,
Present.
a quorum is present.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go to 3 public participation. Any public would like to get up there and Please state your name, A, for the record.
Okay.
I'm Kay Wilkins, and I'm here because I am requesting that a matter be placed on your September calendar for a zoning, a modification to the zoning code. And that would be the one that pertains to AR 20 zone, which is agricultural large lot residential. There is a provision in there which permits campgrounds. And that is, they're then at some point defined as including RVs. In my opinion, and the opinion of most of my neighbors, and most of Becker Lake Road where I live has that zoning, we believe that is absolutely inappropriate for our area to have campgrounds, and particularly RVs and campgrounds in that zoning. And the reason I'm here speaking instead of when it gets on the ordinance is because that is related to the item number 6 on your agenda today. It's my understanding that staff has decided that there's a conflict between the chapter 17.28.172 and 1740.030, which is the AR 20. And when that comes up, I want to speak to that too, but I just want to explain to you that the conflict has to do with whether RVs can be in our AR 20s, and I'm going to tell you that we feel that is absolutely inappropriate. And the interesting thing is the staff saw the conflict, and instead of going for modifying the statute that permits campgrounds in AR 20, they went for modifying the only protection we have against that, and which is included in the agenda item 6. And when we get to that, I'll explain to you my view of what should happen, but that is basically, this should be on the agenda, that my proposal should be on the agenda for next month, and you should consider whether or not you want to remove campgrounds from AR 20 to resolve this perceived conflict. Do you have any questions or anything?
Thank you, Steve. Okay. Next. Brian, you got something?
Yeah.
Eric? Oh, that's Ryan, he's up there.
All right.
Brian Carpenter, employee of the town of Springerville down at the Round Valley Senior Center. I just want to bring you guys up to date on what's been going on the past couple of months. Transportation, we're still doing our solo runs every first and third Friday of the month. I always pack the van. Sometimes I gotta take the white van if I've got 5 or 6 people, and they're primarily going to Walmart, ADOT, Cell One, doctor's appointments and things like that. So it's probably working out good. Locally, continue to blow away NACOG's limit on our units for the month. We had another 245 units for the month, and a unit is every time a client touches the door of the vehicle to get in. And then we count all those months in fitness, and then we can make can't wait for the wheelchair assisted van. Could have used it today. Had a lady that was in a wheelchair and eager. Had to call Pat from fire department over, a couple other guys to transport her, because we only have 2 wheelchair assisted companies available for Round Valley, AAA Medics, Medical Express, and Change Point. So we got the job done. It took 3 or 4 of us to lift her in and put her in my van and then lift her out and put her back in the wheelchair, but everything worked out good. Trips coming up. We have this weekend, we're going to the Gold, Gem, and Mineral Show down at Alpine. It's Friday and Saturday from 9 till 3. We're also going in October down to Valley Steamboat again, at Junction, Gold Canyon. We'll visit the gold mine, and then we'll go on the boat ride. And of course, a lot of ones coming up in November sometime. We continue, and Robin has done a really excellent job, continue to be a one-stop shop for community needs. She's been accredited to operate food stamp material now. So anybody that needs any help of any kind can come up there and get it. And if we don't know who it is, we'll send you to the right person that they can get you the proper help. And, our mission continues to be helping the needy, and we get the job done up there. I think our staff does an excellent job. We thank you for you guys' support. You guys support us a lot in everything that we do. And we're going to continue to be tough on that.
Thank you, Brian.
Is there any questions?
Excellent job as always. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, Terry.
I might point out, you have 3 Meals on Wheels, delivery people in here. Part of our crowd facing. That's when we get hit in the middle. On to the show. Just some cool updates. School started on Monday, as most of you know. I went to the open houses last week and they were all just bubbling. Everybody's excited. We've done some great things. If you didn't see it on Facebook, you're not in the right place, we redid both of our locker rooms for our home teams, and they look like professional locker rooms. They've got this great black and gold carpet, and they've got nice wide places so that even their pads fit hanging up, and they're really, really nice. New lights, the lights are astounding, and they can be managed easily. Of course, our big flag. And so if you have a chance, we have a football game against Thatcher tomorrow night. It'd be a great time to go look and see how the dome is increased. The middle school has done some wonderful things. The middle school gym, they painted it white. It looks so much bigger, and of course, so much wider. We also moved. And those of you who went to school there, you know that there was an 8th grade hall. We moved the 5th graders in that hall, which separates our 5th graders from the rest of our middle schoolers. They have their own bathrooms, their own way to the cafeteria and all that stuff. And it gives them their own little home. It was painted this year. There's some beautiful murals there. And the classrooms and the 5th grade teachers were just so excited. It was unbelievable. We also put in security doors in the middle school, which is one of the things we really made a priority this summer. So you've got to be must stand on you in the elementary school. So we're working on that. We have some ideas about using our local police forces to just make cops good guys. And Jason has been really wonderful working with us on about that. Big news is all of the raffle tickets sold out this morning for the Boys and Girls Club chamber raffle. It was touch and go there for a little while, but I have to give a big shout out to John Goldshot, who's been working on marketing and our website. I know he does your website too. He did an astounding job, and we got them all sold, because a couple of weeks ago, I didn't think we were going to make it. And we made it. He sold 1,100 tickets in 15 days.
Wow.
There at the end, and that was marketing. So it was really wonderful.
And the drawing's on the 20th?
It is this Saturday at Avery's at 7 o'clock, and we are all invited. And we've got some door prizes beforehand, as we did last year. So it'd be a fun time to be had by all.
Good.
Just thought I'd throw it out there. Little Colorado Meats is about ready to start selling wholesale and retail. We have approached the senior center. It looks like we're going to be able to help the senior center with their meat needs also.
Good, Terry. Excellent job, as always. Anybody else for public? No other public? Okay, we'll move on to council manager staff report. Doug, you got anything?
No, sir.
No. I don't have anything.
No, well, yeah, I do. I'd like to just say, good shout out to Public Works people for handling all the
Flooding.
flooding and stuff issues.
Yeah, and I saw some comments, and I had a constituent come up to me and said public work guys were really cleaning it up and said, we look so much better than some other places, so kudos to public works.
They fixed my house too.
Yeah.
That's all.
That's all you have? Okay, I'll do staff report. You guys good? Chief, go ahead.
Chief Merrill. I just want to reiterate what Councilman Scott said. I was, of course, with the opening of the elementary school, I think it went well from the feedback I'm hearing. We have the kindergartners, 5 classes all day back in Springerville. And they reached out to me because where they pick up and drop off kids, it was kind of muddy and weeds and grass. And I reached out to Chris reached out to Public Works, and they got it taken care of quick. So the school is very appreciative for that. So
Good.
I don't have any updates unless anybody has any.
How's our guy doing?
He's doing well. He's doing well. I met with him on Monday. He's doing well. He's hanging in there real good.
Good, good, good.
So, any questions for the PD?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Chris, you got anything for us?
Yeah, I got a few things. First off, I want to introduce our new hire for Public Works Director, Steve Christensen. If you want to come on up. Steve has a long history of Public Works Director in several places in New Mexico. And we have high expectations for him and for our crew. So I don't know if you want to start off by introducing yourself to the council and
Thank you, Chris. Mr. Mayor, council, it's a real privilege for me to be hired by the town to serve the town. Lived here 15 years and I'm excited for the opportunity. And speaking about the crew down there, boy, they have been working their butt off the last few days. And some difficult situations with that flooding and so on. Chris and I were even out there helping.
Yeah.
But they're a good group and I think we've got a lot of opportunities in front of us to do some pretty cool things. It's gonna take some work and take some planning and we know we've got our work cut out for us in all the phases of public work. So again, I'm excited to be here and I want to thank the town for showing some confidence in me and I'll try and prove up to one thing I'll never forget. Our customers are our owners. I mean, I always remember that.
Well, please give everybody kudos for all of us, for me,
I will.
Yeah.
I'm-
because they really are costing.
I plan on picking up some donuts at Safeway. So they-
Now what? They love donuts. Well, thanks. Welcome aboard. Very good. All right. Yes, Steve.
Chief Reynolds is pulling up. He may or may not have something, so just.
All right.
we've been talking about the rains and stuff. One of the things that Public Works has done is we put a bunch of sandbags out here for the public to pick up and use where they need it. We had a huge pile this morning. They were gone by midday. We put more out there. I don't know if there's any left there.
Not very many,
Really?
maybe a half dozen.
Okay, so we'll put some more out tomorrow, but yeah, those seem to be a big hit here.
Good. Well, this year it is.
Right, also, we're in the process of recruiting another community development director after Nisha moved on to Navajo County. So we hope to get that position filled real soon. Also, we want to point out, that, you haven't noticed we're being live stream now for YouTube. So anybody that can't make it to a meeting has no excuses for missing.
Welcome to the 21st century. It's cool.
And finally, I want to publicly congratulate Councilman Davis on his first grandson being born.
Oh, yeah.
His great grandson.
Great man.
And that's all.
Okay. Chief, you got something for us?
Mayor, council, pardon the lateness, but we had a bit of a busy day today. I have the papers all passed out to you later for the report. So that y'all can have your read the report. Only, the fire department only has 2 businesses assigned. Running pretty small right now. We do have a type 6 on assignment to Texas. We have 4 people out. They're on what's called a pre-flow. So they're pre-positioning units. Because Texas has been so dry and California kind of steals all the units. So Texas kind of got smart and said, hey, we're gonna start taking units ahead of time, so California can't get them all. Cool. 2-week assignments, so hopefully they should be back by next week. I participated in a walkthrough of the Springerville generation station. I'm trying to get ready for things to come. We're gonna have a series of meetings with the plant, with their ERT team, and eventually I'll bring the town manager along so we can kind of listen. But it's kind of what the plan is if something major happens and either their ERTs aren't there or their ERTs turn into contract employees, the fire department will kind of be taking the lead on emergencies. So we're going to be doing a lot of pre-planning. I want to thank the Boys and Girls Club. They came out yesterday and helped us fill sandbags, and that was extremely, extremely important. We couldn't have done it without them. Fire department supports the Boys and Girls Club 100%.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks.
All right, I think that's it. Okay, we'll move on to consent items. We have a motion to consider approval of the July 20th.
Mayor, I'd like to move the adopt consent items 5A, 5B, and 5C as presented.
Second. Sure. Any other discussion on that one, Doug? Anything? Yeah, sure. Sounds good. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Okay, we're gonna go to 6, public hearing. Discussion and possible action to enter into public hearing to take public and council comments regarding amending Title 17 of the Town Code with proposed ordinance 2022-004.
Motion to enter into public hearing at 18 weeks.
Do I have a second? Any other discussion? Doug, anything? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, any public?
Well, I'm back.
Okay, come on up, Kate.
Is this for any item, sir?
Huh?
When you say public, is that any item?
No,
Okay, so that's,
Again, I'm Kay Wilkins. I want to address this ordinance. I was at P and Z, and as recommended by P and Z, if you look at section 1A, conditional use permit, the proposal was that the word only be stricken. Says recreational vehicle parks shall only be allowed within these zones specifically permit or conditionally permit mobile manufacturing home parks and shall record a conditional use permit issued by planning and zoning commission, etc. P and Z's recommendation to you, as I heard at the meeting, was that the only not be stricken. And that was the conflict having to do with RV parks or campgrounds, which could include RVs, and the ordinance I talked about earlier. And so the rest of the ordinance, I have no issue with and nothing to say about that, but I think that the only should be left in, and that the, as P and Z suggested and recommended to the council, and that we consider the deleting the campgrounds from the other ordinance. May I assume that that's going to be on the agenda for next month?
it's a second reading.
Oh, the second reading, yes.
No, I mean my request for consideration on that other ordinance, which is not on today's calendar. That's why I spoke first.
It would have to be sponsored.
And who do I need to ask to sponsor it? Anybody up there? Any council member?
Yes.
Yeah. So you just want it on the agenda?
I want it on the agenda so you can consider modifying that to remove campgrounds.
Kelsey, does she need something in writing from?
I can send her a form.
Does it
Yeah.
have to go through P and Z first?
Well, I'm not quite sure, because we're in the public hearing in a different ordinance.
I understand. That's why and I know that this is not being considered. I'm just asking if I'm on the agenda for that. No, I'm not asking for anything from the council other than.
So our usual process, Mayor and Council, if I may just.
Yes, please do.
Is that it goes through planning and zoning and not directly through the council. And so if that is something that we could discuss, after the meeting or at a different time this week, as far as what that process and procedure looks like. But for purposes of the hearing, I think you wanted council to know their concern.
Right.
That, but bring it back to.
Yes, I know council can't make any rulings about that. I just wanted you to be aware because it works with the ordinance that you are considering. And that's why I'm addressing it. And I just want to make sure that this gets considered by the council as to whether or not campgrounds should be continued to be allowed in AR 20. And if that needs to go planning and zoning first, whatever,
Okay.
that's my request.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Anybody else for that one?
Kate Dyson. And I have a concern and just a request that as town councilors and staff, that you refer back to town planning that has been already done. We had a Tahedo plan that was done by University of Arizona. It defines, it gives a vision of what Springerville wants to be. Where do we want RVs? Where do we want manufactured homes? Where do we want campgrounds? And that plan, among others, is clearly defined that in the Becker Lake area, it's to be open space. It's already a residential agricultural area. Where do we want to have all these campgrounds, RVs? We should look at the plan that we've already made. And, you know, people come and go. We have a change in staff. We have a change in council people. But let's go back and look at planning that has been done by really good people, professionals, and a lot of town input that was done. Please look at those plans and consider when you make decisions like this, what do we want to be? Do we want to just satisfy the needs of a developer who comes and wants to make some money and put in whatever? No, think of the long term. Think long term. It's okay. It's okay to change, but you've got to have the public opinion and you've got to, at one time, follow the plan that has already been written. And so I would just ask that you consider that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. Anybody else? Nope.
Mayor,
Yeah.
if I may, we have a written comment submitted that they asked to be read during the public hearing. So this is addressed to the Springerville Town Council. Thank you for the opportunity to voice a couple of comments regarding zoning amendments proposed by, she references it as a resolution, but it's ordinance 2022-004, new business item number 8. Section 2, age limit being imposed on mobile manufactured home units under 17.28.180. Please consider including that age limit to the non-temporary mobile units not identified by proposed definition as mobile manufactured homes. The non-temporary, aka seasonal, secondary, primary occupied and rentals of recreational vehicles, park models, and mobile living units, tiny homes, etc., of less than 400 square foot that may be allowed under the manufactured home parking zone. Section 3, adding a CUP for mini warehouses in C1. L1 zone was developed creating a specific district for mini storage, bulk plants, industrial activities in storage facilities, and locating them out of the C1 retail district. In light of recent activities, it is understandable why this issue is coming forth. If the proper zoning of L1 is not eligible for the location due to illegal zoning changes, then it shouldn't be considered qualified. Working around the zoning to spot zone the property to C1 and issue a conditional use permit for a non-listed use didn't and doesn't enforce the zoning nor abide by the use restrictions shown in section 17.28.020 and the town code except excerpt attached on page 2, nor does referencing a non-conforming use that existed prior to zoning adoptions be a pre-qualifier as similar usage. Under the circumstances, many storage units have a permitted use within a designated zoning and need to be brought back into the retail district C1 as a conditional use. And this was submitted by Bridget Lee.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Can I help?
Is it about this?
No.
Huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Just gonna talk.
Yeah.
But I didn't say you were. So, because, I'm sorry, I was in Hawaii with my grandchildren in Mackenzie. I was told that this mobile home thing was changed, but it doesn't look to be changed. That P and Z recommended a change on the ages of the mobile homes, but this seems to be the original. Is there a change in the ages?
There, under item 8, under the staff report, we have included all recommendations by planning and zoning for them to consider if they would like it changed on the actual ordinance.
Okay, and they wanted to go with older homes, and I disagree with that thoroughly. Mobile homes, once they get over 10 years old, are pretty iffy in their ability to move well and to hold up. And I would think that I really encourage the town to stick with what is in the ordinance right now for age of mobile homes, for not letting anything any older and not letting anything be moved that's that age, because we don't want to end up with a mobile home park that looks like the one across the road is around. And so let's do that.
Well, I'd like to add to that.
Yeah, come on up.
So in the real estate world, and I know, you don't want to hear that, but so a manufactured home is not even financeable if it's been moved more than once, because the lenders feel that they've lost the integrity of the structure. So it's not financeable. So that's something that you need to consider, as well as the age. And I think most parks in the state of Arizona, they can't be older than 9 or 10 years old, but then allow them in the park.
Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. Anybody else? Okay.
I make most we go to a public hearing of 1828 hours.
I'll second it.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 7, executive session, discussion, possible action to enter into executive session for consultants for legal advice regarding proposed ordinance 2022-004 pursuant to ARS 38-431.03A3.
I make a motion we go to executive session 1829 hours.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Oh.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, like Wednesday, Thursday,
I haven't had one.
so 5:30. And everybody attends. Breakfast.
You'll get sick.
So, it's tricky. One to 2 year olds.
Every third Wednesday.
So-
They leave.
Because nobody speaks up. We can talk about easy trips.
See you out here?
All right, okay. Social issues. I
They're neat.
So I have a lot of interest because. I know it's
This professional is,
Senior center.
The train.
All three of those organizations. Senior center. Was okay. So,
So I was.
And then when I showed up.
Said, hey, you're people there.
And you're looking.
Try to do
I'm not sure, because I'm not sure.
Drag the out.
Do you like? So my mom.
Really downtown already.
Because they wanted me. So I have a lot to say because.
I only have.
Yeah, it's right across the room. See, the thing is. The thing is.
Oh, yeah.
We're also going to show them.
This is Chuck. How are you? How's the first meeting? Were you perfect? Announcing people. You are a dog. I'm not worried.
First show.
Because some of this, one of the things I'll say, where we. I really just.
Glad you're here. And you're still here. Welcome aboard. I used to go up here, I just. Yeah, me too.
One of them is.
Well, that's you. I am.
No, that's.
Yes. Yeah. There's no point in back there this time. So, babe, it's not stuff to be treating.
Well.
You know, that's beautiful.
All right. All right, we'll go outside.
And listen.
Yeah, like the two podium show. Yeah, okay, let's go outside.
And so that you all know which one.
That's the school where we do. We don't
It depends on
Soya takes January.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to run. And, well, you haven't been to a meeting, have you? So.
it's, when it's.
Yeah.
No more action.
Just get ready to race. So
Pretty new council, I was original, but I need to. We all need to. So, yeah. This was his. His dog. Shot to my place. He's on for 4 years. So. Oh, yeah, that's work. Yeah.
I use my windows to move.
you want the health and safety, right? Like, what's your agent? Yeah, I had that house. Thought that it was you. It's not like you're looking like, oh, it's the house. I need to get
Yeah. Yeah. Something that feels like I'm That's okay.
Yeah, it's check-in.
But I gotta consult this, the law.
For many, many years and.
Cause I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I know. I think I know your mother. Your mom was here? Oh, okay. Counting.
And then over
Yeah, okay.
She's so much.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say, he's gonna make it easier for people to
House, it has to do with it. Lots of work. Yeah, I just finished reading my house too. It's gonna be 4 years of when they got it.
Yeah, and then I'll talk for a second.
Do you know what this house is?
Yeah.
Should be fighting cancer. She just found out she didn't want to sit. And she wanted to buy a house up in Alpine. Oh, yeah, that old Tesco sign, right? There's a gas station sign. Yeah. Yes.
You actually have.
Were you get a backhoe, pull it out?
A bobcat, my buddy doesn't have a bobcat, so we.
Backyard, huh?
It's interesting. My bobcat, so.
Well,
I'm gonna get some. It's just a matter of.
Yeah.
It's not. Everything's awesome.
So, you know, really, once you can get through their jobs.
She grew up here too.
Yeah, yes. I think so. Really like That's something I don't want, you know. It's the biggest thing. And then you can actually see.
That's a lot. Well, last year they all. We have.
Sorry.
No. I got well, it should be like.
I'm Springerville. I had a 525, I walked through my house and then I had to run over here. I was like, I in high school, I loved you. Yeah. Yeah.
About, where we're going. And he wants to get so much more over here. The new president.
Yeah.
Well, see,
I didn't know where on council because he knows that
but that really.
Like a shot. Maybe I'm really good. I'm not straight.
About the primary school.
So she
Yeah.
knows. I mean, I.
There's two whole halls.
Yeah.
There's so there. Well, the kindergartners are out in the. Yeah, so the three days here.
Yeah. Which would make them an hour, but sometimes. Seems like really the yeah. And if we have a huge public area, a lot of.
Is in.
What I want to say.
Where they need to modify their.
Unless we have special.
They
have that many in person. We went there, but it and we expect now running again. Whole bunch of people on red, people in shoals, people in Winslow. So even though it's busy,
Hendersonville works so good. Because they don't keep us on
And so, we don't live this, but. What's called.
Well, that's good though.
So it's. But the English. So teaching English for
The senior center.
but for the English portion of it, the definitely for that thing. She's also certified by NBC. In there, and the class will actually go out, probably go to St. John's. They'll be English.
I just looked down around. Nice to see your house. You go down there and then right across the coast, right?
That.
That's the street over. The street's over. Like great. Yeah, I don't recognize their.
Well, it's not. Well, it's. It crossed right off behind us.
I think it was busy and then we got the
So I haven't done that up for years.
But, well, we have lots of graphs.
information graphs. Now like this, so all that water, it is on the north side of the house, all that water. Is I swear that it's snow. Not just flood propagation. We used to build homes.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't count.
Because you are reversible.
So this is our attorney.
I make a motion, we come back to regular hearing in 1856 hours.
I'll second the motion.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So we're gonna go to ordinance 2022. This is item number 8-004, discussion and possible first reading of ordinance 2022-004 regarding chapter 17 recreational vehicle parks, age limits of mobile/manufactured home and mini storage.
Okay, I'd like to discuss sending this back to P and G to break it out into 3 separate ordinances.
Second.
There's no second.
No second, because no motion.
Yeah.
So we agree that that's what we
Just for
want
matter
to
of
do.
discussion, I agree
It's
that.
a matter of discussion and we will not do it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Appreciate that. Okay. Good. Now we'll go down to 9, resolution 2022-R008, discussion of possible action to adopt resolution 2022-R008, declaring and adopting the results of the primary election held on August 2nd, 2022. Do you have a motion?
I make a motion, we adopt resolution 2022-R008, declaring and adopting the results of the primary election held on August 2nd, 2022.
Do you have a second?
Second.
You second? Any other discussion on that one, Doug? No? No. All right, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll go on to item 10, tourism tax committee recommendation. Discussion and possible action regarding the tourism tax fund request in the amount of $750 to the Heritage Center for the Fall Festival.
I make a motion that we approve the tourism tax fund request in the amount of $750 to the Heritage Center for the Fall Festival.
Do I have a second? Okay, any other discussion on that one? Nothing? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Moving on to item 11, magistrate services, discussion and possible action to approve temporary magistrate services.
I move we approve the proposed agreement for magistrate services with the Honorable Wes Gunnels as presented.
Do I have a second?
I have a second, but why are we doing this?
Explain.
Mayor and council, the current contract for the magistrate judge expired.
Oh, did okay.
Yes.
Its term ended on August 18, 2022 at midnight. The contract did not have a clause for renewal procedure. So the recommendation to the council is to move forward with the recruitment process for that vacancy. However, that takes time. And because of deadlines for criminal features and other types of cases to be heard, and the ramifications if we do not have a magistrate judge, we have an immediate need for temporary services to fill that gap. So this contract is a recommendation for you to consider on a temporary basis such that a time can be taken for a permanent improvement process. So that is the background.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, any other discussion on that one? All right, you guys, okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. We'll move on to 12, shared services agreement, mutual court clerk and court space. Discussion of possible action to approve a shared service intergovernmental agreement for municipal court and court space.
Make a motion to approve the sheriff service intergovernmental agreement for municipal court.
Second?
Second.
Okay, any discussion on that one? Would you like to say anything?
Yes, please, Mayor and Council. There is one important item that the council should include in any proposed motion. As the council has approved the temporary magistrate contract, there has been a request from the magistrate judge to build in efficiencies and to use the eager courtroom and the eager magistrate court, because that judge that we've now approved also serves as a magistrate.
Right, and he's got the courtroom all set up.
Correct. This will build in efficiencies. However, as you, I'm sure have noticed in the IGA that is in the packet, there are placeholders for a very important piece, and that is the compensation. So the request to council has been to approve an IGA, so temporary co-location and shared court clerk services. The town of Eagle has already approved that. They met last night. They approved the IGA that is in your packet. Again, the draft though on paragraph 4, compensation, requires Springerville to create eager, and then there are placeholders for all services contemplated by this IGA. Now, remember that the contract for the magistrate is separate. That was the item that we just reviewed. What eager has asked is for Springerville to split the actual costs for the magistrate court clerk and no compensation for the court space. So we anticipate, and it fluctuates from week to week, but we anticipate that our need for court clerk services will be between 10 and 15 hours per week. That's really about half, or we anticipated it will be about half of what what the total is. That would average between 2,200 and 2,400 per month for our portion. So what we are asking council, if they do approve the IGA, if you do approve the IGA, would be to also approve to split the court clerk services instead of an actual solid set amount every month, because it will fluctuate. But that is the anticipated price right around. Are there any questions on any of the terms or requirements of the IGA?
So, you say this is temporary. Are we talking this beginning of the year?
So, it would terminate at the same, we're trying to have it run in tandem with the magistrate contract. So what we're anticipating, because this is temporary, it is not permanent. Ideally, we will fill the magistrate vacancy. We will also go back to the IGA with the county for court clerk services. If that is approved by council, we do put that in effect. It is easy, fairly easy. The terms are to terminate if needed, and we'll use them in this case. And then we anticipate that we would resume the status quo once the magistrate vacancy is filled. Okay.
All right.
When does the new magistrate take office?
We don't know yet. We haven't posted the vacancy just yet. And with council's action tonight, staff will move forward with the posting vacancy.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Any other discussion on that one? Doug, you have anything else? That's good. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Nope. Okay, moving on to 14, adjournment.
13.
Oh, sorry. ADOT 2023 pavement preservation grant. Discussion possible acceptance of the fiscal year 2023 ADOT grant and utilization of the grant match for sill coat treatment and pavement markings to 2 sections of the runway.
I move we accept the ADOT grant and it's now not to exceed 200,000 approve the grant match of 10% and authorize the town manager to execute documents necessary.
Second.
Okay, any other discussion on that one, Doug?
Discussion on this, this money has already been earmarked, we've already done this money set aside, the grant match.
The grant-
Yeah, the grant
The
match.
grant match is right in the staff report on this. It's all spelled out with, the total cost of the project being $191,452. The grant match of $19,146. And,
An amount of 25,000 was included in the current fiscal year budget.
so we're covered by the.
We're covered. Okay, any other discussion? Good. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, now we'll move on to 14. Second, any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Council.
Yeah. Trying to figure